So, it's just basic questions. Who is your audience? Who are you trying to reach? What's going on? What's the goal? And then, kind of going back to the Robert Rodriguez, like, what are your inherent resources? Like, when he did El Mariachi, he had a dog and access to a small Mexican village, and so he wrote his feature around that. Like, we had access to 2 guys, a broken camera, and a wall, and it was like, okay, well, what do we do with that? But we also had our you can go to the next thing. Our point of view was also a resource of everything you know about ninjas is wrong, and this ninja is just going to answer questions.
And an important point to mention at this time is that the resources don't have to limit the idea. You can still tell great stories with huge worlds. It's just something that's actually a creative challenge of pushing that down and focusing it and making it this tremendously powerful elixir that's just boiled down to the essential. Like, if you could make the movie Die Hard using just an air conditioning vent and a person in there, you can still tell that whole story. If you focus and push that story right into that character, into that confined space, and I believe in that, and I believe in challenging yourself to blow the world out as big as it can and define it and make all the fantastical dreams that you have for it come true, and then squish it down into a really concentrated pill.
And then just make it easier on yourself, like make it so simple.
Yeah, and I think just back to what you have. What you have are not things that other people have. They're only the things that you have.
Right.
I think that's why I put that bullet in there again, was if your friend has a car, that is not your car. So you
right.
I think we get to that later. Yeah.
It's just basic kindergarten sense of property. Your friend owns a car, you gotta own the car.
We won the Cold War.
And then favors are not renewable. Like, it's easier to do a one-time short film shoot and see if you can get a favor from one person once. But if you're trying to do a series of things, favors quickly start looking like jobs, and it's really hard to kind of get that as a continuing resource.
Yeah.
Another part of the writing is feedback, especially on the internet. And obviously Ask a Ninja is inherently feedback driven since we answer questions from the audience. But you really want to have that loop. You want to read those comments. You want to get those emails in, and all the better if you can come up with a format that's going to inherently open up your creativity to the audience.
And understand that you can use that feedback step at any point during the process. You can build a trusted group of people that you do beta testing for your shows on, or especially if you're going to roll out new technology, and it's always good to share that with some people ahead of time and get their feedback, but then continue the process all the time. The end user.
Yeah, and it's good to get that feedback in. It's good to kind of figure out what that means to you guys internally. But then don't worry about it. Like, be ahead of your audience. You want to lead. You definitely don't want to be chasing what the audience expectations are.
Right. But the prime example for this is we got to do a face-to-face interview with Will Ferrell for the Blades of Glory movie, and it was a question that we had received several times from people through our Gmail account that were just like, "What do you think of the movie Blades of Glory?" And then we thought it was funny because it kind of sounded like it was a martial arts film. And then we took that question and then got ambitious and tried to jump farther ahead and do something brave with it and push it beyond what the audience would be expecting, which is just the regular, ninja answer. And we took that risk, and it paid off great, making that A to D jump rather than just A to B type situation.
Cool, so now we're like kind of in production. Audio, it's the most important thing. No one cares about how it looks, really.
As long as they can hear you.
Yeah, so it's a hugely important thing. Like I get questions from like people that are more cinematic and more filmmakery, and like which is the best looking Flash player all the time. And Damien and Brian Walsh from Caspar, they debate of, oh, this looks good or that looks good, and like to me, I don't care as long as it works. As long as it works and they can hear the words and make it out, because the audience, that's really what keeps them engaged.
Are you saying the audience is listening?
Wow. Wow. Shoot multiple episodes at a time. This is kind of sub-basic cable production. So whatever TalkSoup's doing, you should be doing it faster. And so try to shoot as much as possible, as quickly as possible.
And think about whether you're doing sketch comedy or whether you're doing a news thing or whatever it is. There's always going to be a chance to overlap those resources and piggyback shoots on each other and make the most of them and get a little bit more out of it. And so just do that when you're doing your pre-production. Just plan ahead and just think, oh, you know what, those two locations are pretty much the same. I bet we can just do one location and we can get it all done in one day. Tasty.